Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm continuing on with my gay movie marathon, and I'm up to the film Breakfast with Scott, which I've kind of been putting off because I remember it being really boring the first time, but I thought I'd give it a second chance. It's basically the story of a gay couple, one who is a bit of a closet case sportsman. I think it's Canadian, this film. It must be because they're playing hockey. And he, at the start of the film, you see him get wiped out and actually ends up having to retire early, and then he becomes like a sports commentator. But he's a bit in the, I think he's totally in the closet. And somehow he ends up being stuck with one of his relatives' kids. And the kid is just flaming. He's just flaming on every level, all cylinders, just flaming. And they have to deal with that. They have to deal with their own internal homophobia. They have to deal with other people's. And while there are some good messages here with that, with acceptance and difference and everything, the kid's just cringe and tedious and hideous. I can't stand him. And the main actor, who's played by, I can't remember his name, I found nothing on Wikipedia. He played the older brother of Zach Braff's character in Scrubs. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He's tedious. He's the one who's in the closet. And just his reaction to the kid, I mean, it should be horrible, but the kid is so cringe, I could understand why he would act like that. Like, I wouldn't want the kid either. The boyfriend is kind of passive and doesn't really do much. The character doesn't really do much. The problem with this film is that, I mean, as much as the message is important, the characters are all uninteresting and not likable and cringe. And, like, if you're going to create something and make a statement, create a film and make a statement about something, you want your characters to be sympathetic. Like, people need to like them so they care about what happens to them and want good things to happen to them and will defend them, sort of thing, as opposed to just cringe. And yeah, so I didn't really enjoy the film the second time either. I did appreciate the messages that were in it and the statements that they made, and various moments where the hockey dad eventually does stand up for the kid and speak out a couple of times. He starts to get a sense of how he should be reacting to the kid, but part of me is just like, just tell the kid to just stop. I mean, just don't be so cringe. I mean, you can't make this whole idea that you make the whole world change for you and accept your cringiness or your brand of diversity. At some point, on some level, we need to actually try and fit in with the real world a bit instead of trying to make the real world just, bend to our will. There's something narcissistic about that, and it's one of those things that is brought up. I'm never going to go into there's a whole other debate issue there. But as much as you kind of need to accept people also need to have some awareness of how they are making other people feel and how they are being interpreted, and consider some of that rather than just being like, oh, the world should change for me. And there's a little bit of that in the film as well, which I don't like. So, dull film, dull characters, not likable, cringe message, but important message, but cringely delivered, I think, is sort of the problem with it. We'll probably never watch this again. Yep. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comments, subscribe. Let me know what you think if you've seen the film. If you haven't seen the film, I wouldn't bother, but if you have, let me know what you think.